Welcome, everybody. This is week 3 of 3, working on the unit CHCMHS011, Assess and Promote Social, Emotional and Physical Wellbeing. I'm your trainer, Vicky Hanna. This is for the Certificate for in Youth Work. It's our final week, and this is part 1. I'm going to send out 2 recordings. One will be of our live class and some of our learners doing task 2 or task 3 or task 4, all of the role plays, demonstrating that for you, and to share that. I've done a separate recording that I make sure that you get those practitioner skills. This is just a very brief overview of where we've been over the last few weeks working on this particular unit, what our role is around CHCMHS011. Every person has a mental health. So we are working with clients who, for some reason, whether it's an internal or an external factor, that they're looking for some additional support and they're going to come to you as a worker. This unit helps you understand how to frame what it is that we ask of our clients, how we do a wellness plan, what things we need to consider, even our language and how we make sure that that's safe and that where we refer them to is accessible and that they can get there depending on where that person is up to. So we meet our clients where they are rather than wait for our clients to meet us where we are. So I hope you find this enjoyable. This is a summary of all our 3 weeks that we've been doing on this one particular unit. So before we get started, I would like to do our acknowledgement to country. In the spirit of reconciliation, Hayter Institute of Education acknowledges the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea and community. We recognise Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people as the first inhabitants of this nation and the traditional custodians of the land on which we work, live and study. We express our gratitude for the sharing of this land, our sorrow for the personal, spiritual and cultural costs of that sharing, and hope that we may move forward together in harmony and in the spirit of healing. We pay our respect to all First Nation people and acknowledge elders past, present and emerging. And I extend this acknowledgement out to all of our Hayter community who are watching this recording or who join us in classes. I'm coming to you from Tarrabalang, Bundaland. A little bit of housekeeping, because we're doing a mental health unit, especially anyone working in the community sector. There are times when some of our topics may be something where it's unsettling. You may have a lived experience or someone close to you may have had that. We are going to be talking about mental health issues in our next recording, as we did in our live class. I just want you, if you feel at any time uncomfortable, to just turn the recording off, step away from that. This is part of our work, but you need to be in a really good headspace yourself. So if you're feeling a little flat, then it won't lift you to have some of those heavy topics. But if you're feeling calm and regulated and your own mental health is going well that day, because it's quite it's not a linear, it's not a line where we say it's up and down. It moves around and it can be in lots of different places in an hour or a day or a week or a month. So just make sure that check in with yourself. And I think this would be a topic that I would like to go forward. So we look at social, emotional, physical. Okay, about someone's well-being. So we look at social networks. People have connection if they study, employment, community, if they volunteer, hobbies and personal interests. So we want people to not be socially isolated because that helpless, hopeless and alone, that 3 triaging around suicide prevention is very important. And being alone or lonely are some of the triggers for some people who may be struggling with their mental health. Exploring where we could have some social networks, so employment, education and volunteering is one of the things that we might discuss with our clients to get connection. Employment for some people is more than just a job to get some money. It's often quite social, or there's other connections, or you find people that have got a common interest as well. Doing some study, we have very strong networking in our class, and those social networks happen even though we're all here to be studying. The connection and the journey along the way is also highly valued. So that may be something that your clients could also benefit from. And then volunteering, being connected in something that you have a passion for, that keeps our interest, so it may keep our clients' interest. So we get to know our clients a little more around way we can expand on our clients' social networks. Then we have a look at what is around them, that wraparound support. We can role play with our clients even, not just ourselves. Their emotional well-being covers self-care, the support systems and the people around them, and the relationships that they have. Some are close, some are not, some are inside that circle of influence, and some are outside that circle of influence. Mindfulness is a stillness of moment. So the cognitive, you'll hear someone talk tonight about CBT, cognitive behavior therapy. It's practicing something till they feel more confident, doing something that maybe they don't want to do, but doing that with your support around them as well. And then how that may affect their well-being. So if someone is struggling with mental health, they might also have some other kind of cognitive mannerisms that are happening where they might have auditory, it might be something visual, it could be lack of sleep, it could be lots of different things that impact their capacity to understand what we may be talking about. So we need to find that language and that connection and meet our client where they are. And that's how we strengthen those coping skills, through teaching people mindfulness and relaxation and self-compassion, care for self. We need to consider the cultural and spiritual well-being of our clients. What can be important for one client may not be important for another. It could be triggering for another. We review with our client how we're going, where we're up to. We'll model some of that in our next recording. We'll get peer review and recognise some progress and feedback. You're doing really well. Pivoting, changing how things are, what we thought they were going to be, so new directions and strategies to manage that. Having a plan B, backup plan if that doesn't work. And then specialists who we might bring in to make sure that that subject matter expert is in that space. That might be a clinician, someone who specialises in AOD, someone who specialises in housing and homelessness. And then you'll evaluate with your client, I mean, how did that visit go? What was that group like? Oh, you didn't like it. So check in, review. Reflect on your own work, on your own practice, identify different strategies to improve that. And then we will also have some reflective practice around our role plays in our next recording, where we ask our peers to be able to give that feedback. So describe what someone does well, what you would like to see differently if you were the person in the chair. But being able to do that for ourselves means that we can teach our clients, what is that like? Can you tell me more about that? The feelings, evaluate, is there a time where you have felt more confident? What was happening for you then? What were some of the things that helped make that happen? Analyze that, conclude. So would it be like this? Just wrap it all up. And then what is the action plan? And that might be, look, we met this morning, but was morning or afternoon a better fit for you? No, I'm actually better in the afternoon. Okay, great. Let's see what we've got. So out of the week, which are your best days? I've got availability on these 2 days. Would they work? Yes. And work together. Is coming in okay? Would you like a Teams meeting? Is a text message or a phone call? That time will be put aside for you, but I want it to be uncomfortable. Did it cost them a lot of money to just even come into the office? We can't make ourselves a barrier for our clients. So to have a good understanding, we've got to get to know how hard was it for them to walk in through the door today to work with us. That's what looking at someone's mental health, social, emotional, psychological, and physical well-being is. So just an overview before we jump into our actual role plays, the social wellbeing and the social network, so that holistic plan, the emotional wellbeing, the cognitive aspect, the understanding or the ability to understand a capacity, what affects their wellbeing, even medication can make that difficult for our clients. Review and reflect, approaches to practice, adjusting and pivoting how we approach that, different tools that we might have, and how to examine your own bias and that reflective cycle. So there may be things that we think about while we've got our own idea and it's natural and normal for us, but it may not build a bridge or that connection or engagement with our clients. So we need to have that reflective cycle. How am I going? Where am I up to? Just having a client walk in the door each appointment may not necessarily mean they're there because they want to be. It could be under the influence of other members of their family who think that they need to go and get help. It could be court mandated, or it could be that they're stuck but they don't know how to get the best out of their sessions with you. So sometimes even teaching people and showing them how to get the best out of working with you. And I'll give a little bit of that feedback with our clients and our learners in their role plays after we go over to the practical skills. So this overview was about your final session. And we will have a question and answer, of course, like we do in our live classes. Our key learnings, we'll talk about those. We'll unpack that in our part 2. And your homework, of course, is to get on and do some role plays. Do those with a peer from class would be amazing. There's a full suite of role play resources for you to be able to go to in our Discord app, or you can, of course, go to our amazing learner support officers there who would be really happy to help you. And I've just got their behind me there. So they work from 10 in the morning till 7 p.m. at night, and they are there to support everybody. So if there's a question they need to ask a trainer, they will circle that back down to whatever trainer is available. So we all work at night, which means that during the day, there may not be a trainer around or available for you. So stay tuned for our part 2. We're going to do our skills. We're just stepping out of our knowledge and we're moving over to your skills as a potential youth worker or to expand on your skills if you already are. So enjoy part 2, and that will be the end of this unit. And of course, you'll do your assessments in your own time as well. So thanks, everybody. I've really enjoyed having you. Stay tuned. Let's come and watch some of your peers and colleagues attempt their role plays and learn from that.